Hello everyone. I want to begin with congratulating all of you who have completed this e-learning module on EXIN Cloud Computing Foundation. So congratulations, and you have been on the path of being a digital transformation officer provided by EXIN. So in this session, we will discuss about some of the questions which can be potential exam questions for the EXIN Cloud Computing Foundation quiz. So in this, we will be discussing around 40 questions. These questions were basically covering all the 5 sections which we just discussed during the e-learning module. So let's begin our journey for discussing these questions, and then I wish you all the best for your examination preparation. So post these questions, I humbly say that we should go ahead with writing the exam, and we should be able to clear the exam in a most successful manner. So let's begin with question number 1. So the question number 1 says that a customer want to run application software. They want to store related data in a central computer system. They want to provide customers or other users access to them through the like of internet. So what would this do? So what would help them to do this? So these are the 4 options. The first one, A, is an application architecture. B is application management. C is cloud computing. And D is your IT service management. So if you see this question from the exam perspective, it is a very simple question because we discussed in the first section or the first module of EXIN Cloud Foundation that when any of the customer, they want to run all the application software and they want to use internet as a way of enabling, it is the cloud computing. So the answer for this question is C. Why it cannot be A and B is because application architecture is a simple way of configuring and putting your application structures in place. Application management is basically a way by which you can think of ensuring how your application management function, which is responsible for managing your application run throughout the life cycle. So, and similarly, the option D is basically, it's IT service management. So it's all about the implementation and management of quality IT services that meets the needs of the business. So A, B, and D are not the correct option. The correct option for this question is option C, which is all about the cloud computing. So the answer for this is cloud computing, which is option C. So let's move ahead. The second question is, a cloud infrastructure delivers service to a specific group of organizations and individuals that shares a common goal. Which cloud deployment model is this? So as you remember in the e-learning module, we clearly discussed it is a type of a deployment model. So which type of deployment model we are referring over here is, so let's try to see and look each and every option. So I will go in this case with the incorrect options first, and then we'll come to the correct option. So let's see the option number D, which is a public cloud. So if you remember, public cloud is basically a cloud which provides the shared services over the internet, but it is not targeted to any specific group of organization or any individual that shares a common goal. So public cloud is a generic concept where you try to get an access to those services at the cheapest rate. That's a public cloud all about. So we can clearly see that it is not an option. So option D is eliminated. So now let's try to see the option C, which is all about the private cloud. So private cloud is basically a cloud which resides on a private network that runs on a data center that is exclusively used by one organization. So in private cloud, as we see this, the private cloud is centered around one organization because you want to make an exclusivity. You want to ensure a security of application is there, and hence private cloud is only catered for one set of organization. So the question, it asks about the specific groups and individuals. So your option C is also eliminated. So now you have two options, which is option A and option B. So now let's go ahead with the option B. So if you see the hybrid cloud basically combines several private public cloud solutions from several providers into a one IT infrastructure. So your hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private. So it's not a hybrid cloud. So obviously the answer for this question is your A, which is your community cloud. So if you see the definition of community cloud delivers the services to a specific group of organizations or individuals that shares a common goal. So in this question, the most important jargon is the common goal. So if you read this question very clearly, you can make out they are referring to common goal. And from this definition of community cloud, we can clearly understand that it is a question pertaining to the community cloud. So the answer for this question is A, which is all about community cloud. So now let's move to the question third. So what are the key characteristics of the PaaS? So we are trying to talk about the PaaS, which is platform as a service. And as you remember, we have covered this in the section 1, which is the highest scoring module, which was almost 32.5% of the overall cloud foundation. So the answer for this, we will try to again see from the perspective of, so let's see, whether it is A, B, C, or D. So let's see the option A. So no modification of the software. So if you see this, this is the key characteristics of software as a service. So this first option A is a characteristics of a software as a service. So it cannot be a characteristics of PaaS. So when you say in PaaS, the characteristics is something different. So let's try to see what is that, right? So first A is eliminated because it is more of a characteristics of software as a service. Now let's try to look at the option B, which basically talks about provide dynamic scaling. So this is a key characteristics of infrastructure as a service. So when you think of implementing IIS, it helps you to provide a dynamic scaling. So the option B is also eliminated. So now let's try to see the option C, which is it is used for remote application development. And certainly, as we see, this is one of the key characteristics of platform as a service, wherein it is used for doing any kind of remote application development. So the answer for the question number 3 is C. And let's try to see even the option D. So vendor with advanced technical knowledge. So this is basically again a key characteristics of software as a service. So as we have gone through all the options, the right suitable option for this is option C, which is basically PaaS is used for a fundamental remote application development. So answer is C. So let's move ahead with the